Hey, what's up, guys? We got a four-game slate to break down here for NBA. So, as usual, we got 30 minutes to lock, so we'll go over the news, what we know so far. We can go over the over-unders, the spreads really quick, the prices, and then questions at the end. So, let's just go to Fantasy Labs. I guess that's probably easier to go over with the news so far. Not a whole lot of news we're waiting for, really. Kind of the big one is... what's his name for Miami? Justice Winslow. But they got a lot. They're announcing a lot Friday here. Let me scroll back to the beginning of the day. Okay, so the Jaylen Brown, he is good to go, and he's not going to be on a minutes limit. Cantor participated in the shoot-around, but he's not available tonight. So guys like Tice and Robert Williams are in play. I think I would prefer Robert Williams. I believe he's at 3.7K as a value play. Other news, again, we're still waiting on the availability of Justice Winslow. That's kind of the big one. I don't think we're waiting really on much else here. I'm trying to scroll through and read these. A lot of this stuff is Friday. Yeah, again, Jaylen Brown, he's available, and he's not going to be on a minutes limit. With no Enes Kanter, Tice and Robert Williams, very much viable. I think I would take the savings on Williams, because I believe Tice is like 5.8K or something like that. He's a bit overpriced, Tice is. So I think I would lean towards Robert Williams there. I don't mind him as a value play. Derek White is available too. So that's kind of a hit to guys like, Forbes and Patty Mills a bit. And that's kind of it. Again, we're still waiting on the, Jaylen Brown will start. Hornets, Rozier, Bacon, Bridges, Washington, Zeller. Again, kind of expect. Oh, here we go. Justice Winslow ruled out. So that just came out. Deion Waiters, questionable. Okay, so with Justice Winslow out, that makes some of those Miami guys a lot more viable here. So we'll talk about that. Let me actually make a tweet about that really quick, just so I can get that out. But yeah, now that makes the secondary guys like Kendrick Nunn get ability. Any of those, like Kendrick Nunn, Dragic, Hero. Those guys are all very much viable now. Okay, so let's look at the over-unders and the spreads really quick. This is on NBA. Why is this not filtering correctly? Here we go. So Boston Charlotte is at 215.5. Boston favored by 7.5 points. OKC San Antonio 212 with San Antonio favored by 5.5. Heat Suns at 219 with the Suns favored by 1.5, and then the late night hammer Portland and the Clippers at 230.5 with the Clippers favored by 6. So let's just go team by team here. And we'll start with Boston at the top. So Kemba in a revenge game at 9.3K is someone I'm definitely considering. I think he's going to be a bit more aggressive playing against his former team at home. It's a tough decision if you're going between a guy like Kemba versus Lillard. I think Kemba is in the better overall matchup, but Lillard's in the faster paced game. Lillard, again, kind of matchup proof, right? But it is a tougher matchup. Beverly is a solid defender. So it's a close call right now with Kemba and Lillard if you're deciding between those guys. I currently don't have both in my lineup. I'm a little worried about the Kemba fade, but 9.3K, I think he's fairly priced, right? They got Jaylen Brown back. They have Tatum. They have Hayward. So they have guys that will eat up that usage. It's not Kemba of Charlotte, where it's like him playing with a bunch of scrubs. So I think Kemba's still viable. Again, the revenge game narrative very much in play. If you're a guy that takes that in consideration, you can play both Kemba and Rozier. Like I said, I think he's fine. Tatum and Hayward get a slight downtick here with Jaylen Brown back, and Jaylen Brown playing. They said he's going to play normal minutes, so I think that's 28 to 32. My best guess, somewhere in that range. Again, it is a pretty solid matchup here for these Boston guys. Tatum, Hayward, Brown. I think they're all okay. No one I'm super high on in this game. I like the late night games a lot more, especially Portland and the Clippers. I know that one's going to be the most popular, but I like a lot of pieces to that game, and then I like a few for Miami Phoenix. These first couple games, I'm not super high on a lot of these guys. Now, as far as the value guys go, Cantor is out. Tice is at 5.6K. I do like targeting bigs against Charlotte, but I just think he's fairly priced. I don't see the huge upside on him. A guy I would prefer for a little bit cheaper is Robert Williams. He's Oh, no, it's Grant Williams. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong Williams. Robert Williams here, 3.7K. Will probably play 15, maybe 20 minutes. And at 3.7K, this slate definitely lacks value. So, again, Biggs against Charlotte. I think he's very much in play as a value guy. I do kind of like him. But that's really it for Boston. So let's move on to Charlotte. Charlotte, not a lot of guys I'm super high on either. It's a tougher matchup here. Again, Rozier, if you want to take the revenge game narrative, I don't mind it at all. He's playing big minutes, and you could definitely pair Kemba with Rozier for sure in the same lineup. That's 100% viable. Rozier in close games is going to play mid-30s minutes, and he's got revenge. Again, these guys with revenge, you think they're going to be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end, so definitely viable here at 6.8K. Devontae Graham, I think I'm going to fade just because of the ownership. I don't mind him at all. I think he plays low 30s minutes, and he's going to come out the bench and be aggressive, right? He's been really solid this season. But I think, so for me, I'm only playing GPPs. I think he's going to be too high owned, and for that reason, I'll hop off. I don't think he's a bad play. I just think the ownership will be inflated on him tonight. I don't think we get 42 minutes out of him. Bacon got in some foul trouble. The game did go to overtime. I think he plays low 30s again. It's a tougher matchup. So I definitely think he's fine. I just think the ownership would be a little bit higher on him. So for that reason, I'm going to fade. PJ Washington, not too excited about him. Cody Zeller, it's a tricky decision because we don't know what the minutes are going to be like. He was playing, 35 minutes a game, and now the back-to-back games of 20 and 17. So I don't think you go there for cash if you're playing cash. I think for GPPs, yes, because he's very risky. The minutes are not secure at all. But if he hits that high end, if he hits that 35-minute range, he can crush the salary. So he's a very risky GPP play just because of the minutes. Guys like Bridges, not super excited about. Bacon, kind of the same thing with Cody Zeller, right? The minutes are all over the place. But if he hits those games where he plays, mid-30s minutes and is aggressive, we know the upside's there. So he's kind of in the same territory as Cody Zeller, as definitely not a cash game play, but a GPP play because we know the upside if they hit those high minutes. If they get those minutes, they can hit that upside. Monk, okay, I guess. Biyombo got some run last game, but I don't know if that's necessarily secure for him to get those minutes again. So. Again, not a lot of guys I'm super high on these first couple games, so that's kind of it for Charlotte. Let's move on to OKC. OKC, my favorite play definitely is Steven Adams here at 5.4K. The tough part for me is I have Bam and I have Whiteside in, so I really like those guys, and I can't get Steven Adams. I can't play 3 centers, so. It's tricky. You can definitely fade either one of Bam or Whiteside. I really like both those guys tonight. But, yeah, I think Steven Adams goes a little bit lower owned. I think he's very safe. I think in a close game, he pushes 30 minutes. And we know every once in a while, Steven Adams will have that upside game. We saw it last year. He put up 50 fantasy points a few times. So we do know the upside's there. And he's at a very, very playable price tag. I think he's very safe. So I think he definitely is my favorite OKC play tonight. It's just I don't have him in my lineup because I got Bam and Whiteside in there. Other plays, SGA, Chris Paul, Gallinari, Schroeder. No one I'm super, super excited about. I mean, I don't mind the price in Chris Paul. Gallinari's fair. SGA is playing big minutes. It's just a tougher matchup, and no one I'm super, super excited about. Diallo's okay as a value play. I think I prefer plays in the later games for sure. So again, I think my favorite play is Steven Adams, but I'm telling you guys I currently don't have him in my lineup because I got Bam and I got Whiteside in. As far as the Spurs go, I'm not super, super high on a lot of these guys. I think my favorite would be Aldridge here at 6.9K. It's just he hasn't looked like himself this year. And with DeJounte Murray in that starting lineup, that's taken away some usage from Aldridge. So I think he's playable at 6.9K. I think he's pretty safe with a little bit of upside. It's just, I think he's slightly underpriced. Not like super, super excited about the play. I would definitely prefer Bam personally at a similar price point. DeRozan, same thing. I think he's okay. Not super excited about. DeJounte Murray only for tournaments because of the minutes limit. It's just tough. Rudy Gay at 5K, I think's priced right. If Derek White would have missed, I could have looked at a guy like Bryn Forbes or Mills, but with White playing, not super excited about those guys. Trey Lyles is viable. I liked him in that game against Atlanta, put up 27. It's just whether or not he gets, 20 minutes compared to like 12. So Spurs, yeah, the first couple of games, I'm not super high on a lot of these guys. Again, if you're going to make me pick a Spur, I think it's going to be LMA there at 6.9K, but just not a team I'm super high on either. Now we get to the later games, and these are the games where I want some pieces. Miami, Phoenix. So with Justice Winslow now out of this lineup, that's about 30 or so minutes to go around. So I think maybe Jimmy Butler picks up a few extra. I think Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn, Dragic. I think all those guys pick up a few extra minutes. I think Bam is probably my favorite play here at 7K. In that game against Denver blew out. He was playing every single minute that Jokic was out there. And we know Phoenix kind of runs big. They got Baines, they got Kaminsky, Saric, so they do run a slightly bigger lineup. So I think Bam hopefully should get low 30s minutes in a close game, and I just love his upside here. So I do like Bam a good amount. Jimmy Butler too, very much viable now especially with no Justice Winslow. In a close game, he plays mid 30s minutes. So I do like Jimmy a good amount. I do like Bam a good amount. The secondary pieces are get a pretty big boost with no Winslow. Hero, Dragic, Nunn. I think those three are the direct beneficiaries. Myers Leonard, I think it's just okay. He's priced up now. I think I'll probably pass. Dion Waiters, I think he's probably not going to go even if he's available. They really don't like this guy. Kelly O is a risky play. The minutes are really up and down in him. If he hits that higher end, like in the mid-20s, then you like him. But again, he's more suited for GPP. So for me, I think Bam, obviously, the two guys at the top I think are the safest just because of minutes, Jimmy and Bam. But Hero, Dragic, Nunn, all get a pretty big boost with no Winslow. If you're going to make me pick my favorite of these three guys, I guess Nunn. I don't know. Dragic has the revenge game narrative too. It's close. These guys all in the mid-range are very much viable. A guy like James Johnson too at 3.5K, kind of forgot about him, but he could pick up some extra run with no Winslow. I think he's another guy that could maybe low 20s minutes, so he's a viable punt play for sure. But that's really it, I think, for Miami. So let's move on to Phoenix. Phoenix, Booker is just, he's turning into a guy that's pretty scoring dependent. Like last year, he had the ball in his hands a lot. He kind of ran the point, so his assist numbers are up. With Ricky Rubio now running the point, Booker's assist numbers are going down. His peripherals are going down. He's turning into more a scoring-dependent guy. And with that being said, he's a lot more boom or bust now because his peripherals aren't there. So if his shot's not falling, like this game against Memphis where I played him, he gets 24 fantasy points. If he's knocking down his shots, he's got 50 fantasy point upside. So I don't really think he's cash game viable. I think he's more of a GPP play. Ricky Rubio, I think, is very safe. Going to play mid-30s minutes in a close game. He fills up the stat sheet. Like I said, if he's knocking down shots, he can get in the high end of that fantasy point range. So I kind of like him as a safer option there at 6.7K. Oubre is just okay. Baines is viable, but I think I prefer Bam and Whiteside. Also Steven Adams, I think. So Baines would probably be my number 4 center, I guess. Saric is viable as well. He's very up and down. So I think he's more suited for GPPs, right? 9, 14, but also put up a 45-point fantasy point out too. So he's definitely viable in GPPs because we know he does have that upside. Frank Kaminsky's interesting here at 4K, a guy that no one is talking about, and recency bias too, right? He just went 0 of 5 and put up 12 fantasy points. But I still think he plays 20 to 25 minutes, and we know, we saw it earlier in the season, this guy was putting up pretty big numbers. So I actually don't mind him. Him and a guy like Robert Williams, I think, are very solid, cheap plays here. Again, I think recency bias really lowers the ownership on Kaminsky, but I don't mind him here. I wouldn't mind taking a shot there. I think he plays 20 to 25 minutes. And then everyone else here is kind of unplayable for me. So that's kind of it for Phoenix. Finally, the last game of the night. This is where I want a lot of pieces. I think it's going to be the most popular game, but it's just the most appealing for DFS purposes. So we'll start with Portland. My favorite play here definitely is Whiteside at 6.4K. He's not going to play huge minutes, 25 or so, but it's just whenever we can project this guy to get decent minutes, we know he can crush that salary. So I think he's got 40, 50 fantasy point upside in him. And again, 6.4K, he's underpriced. So he's one of my favorite plays tonight. Lillard is interesting. I think goes a little bit lower owned. I think people will flock to Kemba. The matchup is, again, not necessarily the best, but It's Damian Lillard. He's matchup proof. So I don't mind the contrarian spend up there for Lillard. CJ's interesting here. I really like the price tag at 6.1K, and the usage is still there. It's just he hasn't been shooting the ball the best, right? 22 shots, 22. Like, he's going to shoot the ball a lot. And it's an up-tempo game. I think Pat Beverly guards Lillard. So, yeah, I kind of do like CJ, right? We know he does have the upside. I think he's safe to get you 25 or so, which is not going to kill you at 6.1K. And we know he has 40, 50 fantasy point upside in him in good games. So, yeah, I do kind of like CJ as well. The secondary pieces are interesting as well. Herzonia still playing decent minutes off the bench. Played 26 in the last time, so he's a viable cheap option. Bazemore as well here at 3.9K. Hood, I think, is a guy that's going to be somewhat popular because of the minutes, right? 34, 34, 31, 36. He's definitely a viable cheap play. There's not a whole lot of like really great value plays. So I think Hood's very much viable at 3.8K. I think he's going to be pretty popular, but I don't mind him for sure. Simmons and Scal's kind of pushing it. So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts for Portland. I do like a lot of these guys. Again, Whiteside, my favorite. Probably followed by CJ, then Lillard, and then these cheap guys, Herzonia, Bazemore, and Hood. On a slate that lacks value, these are guys I'm 100% considering tonight. Finally, the Clippers. I like a lot of pieces here, especially Kawhi. I mean, I know he's going to be the most popular guy in the slate. There's not a whole lot to spend up for. If you want to get really risky, you can fade him. I think he's going to be 80% owned, maybe more, because we just don't have a lot to spend up for on the slate. And like I said, if he somehow busts, gets in foul trouble, you're going to be way ahead of the field. So, yes, I think Kawhi is very safe. He's my favorite spend up, obviously. There is merit to fade him. Like, there's a chance he could bust, but I don't think it's a great chance. So, yeah, I think Kawhi's pretty safe here at 9.6K in an up-tempo matchup. Again, not a whole lot to spend up for. So, cash games, I think you play them and you move on. GPPs, I'm still playing them, but if you want to get risky, you can fade. Lou Williams and Montrez, still don't mind these guys with Kawhi back. The usage takes a hit, but Lou's still going to shoot the ball a ton. He's not going to shoot it 27 times, but 15 to 20 in an up-tempo game at 6.6K. I still think he's slightly underpriced. Montrez, again, not going to play 40 minutes, probably low 30s, but another up-tempo game, and I think both these guys are underpriced. So I like Kawhi, I like Lou, and I like Montrez, all a good amount here. I like this game as part of a game stack for sure. It's my favorite game, definitely. I know it's going to be the most popular, but there's just a lot of good pieces here. Pat Beverly's interesting at 4.9K with Kawhi back. He's a guy that doesn't necessarily have to score to get you there. I think he's priced about right, so I think I would only go there as part of a game stack. Zubac, not a guy that's going to play huge minutes, probably 15 to 20. But we know he can get you there in that time. JaMychal Green, okay with Kawhi back. The minutes will go down. I don't necessarily know if I want to go there. And that's really it. So let me look at Twitter here, see if we got any last late breaking news, and then we can get to questions here. Derrick Jones Jr. is available. Okay, so that's kind of big news as well here for Miami, because he can definitely eat some of that Winslow minutes. So Derrick Jones Jr., where is he at here? He's at 3.3K. He's a guy that won't play huge minutes, but I could see him getting into the rotation for sure. I think 15 is pretty fair projection. And then you also have a guy like Duncan Robinson who might get some minutes too. So yeah, that's definitely a concern. Like, with those guys probably going to get some run. That would be a hit to none, Dragic and Hero. I still think they're viable in the mid-range, but it's definitely the safest options for sure are Bam and Jimmy, just minutes-wise. Like, those guys, I think Jimmy plays 35 in a close game. I think Bam plays 30 or so in a close game. So those guys definitely seem the safest minutes-wise. So let's get to some questions here. If you guys are enjoying the content too, I know I don't really say this a lot, but would appreciate if you guys could hit that like button. But yeah, let's look into it. Lazy-ass Whiteside. He can be lazy at times, but at 6.4K, he's one of my favorite plays. People love that late game push too. Yeah, it's going to be a popular game for sure. Don't fade Kawhi. He's a fun guy. Yeah, I mean, I have Kawhi in my lineup. Again, I'm only playing GPPs. I'm playing him. I think he's going to be really high owned. Tice or Graham? I'd go Graham there. Lou or Rubio? That's close. That's really close. I think I like the upside a little bit more on Lou. I think Rubio's a little safer. It's really close. Rubio and Cash, in my opinion, yeah, that's my take too. I think Rubio, Cash. I think the upside's a little bit higher in a guy like Lou. Um, it's settled. Yeah, like it's close. For GPP, would you like Booker or Kemba more? In a GPP, I think I would go Booker because he's going to be a lot lower owned. I think Kemba is going to eat up, I don't know how much ownership, but he's going to be popular because of the revenge game. So, yeah, give me Booker. Booker's, again, more in play for GPPs because he's scoring dependent. He's got a kind of low floor if his shot's not falling, but a high ceiling. So, yeah, give me Booker there. You guys are all saying Kemba. Okay, none. JaMychal Green, play thoughts. With Kawhi back, I just think he's okay. I think I'd probably prefer some other plays. Favorite Hornet play? I think Rozier, just because of the revenge game narrative. Hey, I'm late to the stream, so IDK, if you talked about this, Whiteside or Bam? I'm playing both. I like both. If you're gonna make me pick, I guess Whiteside. Yeah, that's close. With Butler D. No Hood. No, I do like Hood. I think Hood is pretty safe. He's a guy that will play low to mid 30s minutes. I currently do have Hood in my lineup, just because there's not a whole lot of value plays on the slate. So Jaylen Brown or nah? Yeah, I think he's 5.7. He's like the cheapest Boston guy here, and he's gonna play. They said no minutes limit, so. Yeah, I actually kind of like Jaylen Brown here at 5.7K. I think you get the discount off of Hayward and Tatum. Yeah, I think he's very much in play. Devontae Graham a play tonight after the big game he had the other day. So, not for me personally for GPPs because I think people will chase that big game. Now I think he's still fine at like 6.1. He's going to play low 30s minutes. It's not necessarily the best matchup, but he's been really good. So I think he's very much viable. I don't hate him as a play. I just think the ownership will be inflated. So for that reason, for GPPs at least, for that reason, I'm not going to play him. Best forward under 3,900, already have Hood. Best forward, I kind of like Robert Williams. Right, Bazemore's viable too. 3,900. Yeah, so you got Bazemore. You already have Hood. I think Robert Williams at 3.7K, and that would be kind of be it. The other Miami guys like James Johnson and Duncan Robinson are a bit riskier because we don't know what the minutes are going to be like. I know there's no Justice Winslow. I think James Johnson could play 20 minutes. I think he still could play 5. You never know. So they're a lot more riskier. I think, a guy like Bazemore, we know the minutes are going to be low to mid-20s. So he's viable. Again, I kind of like Robert Williams, going to play 15, maybe 20 minutes. So those are guys I would look to for sure. Thoughts on Scale? I think that's pushing it as a value play. What is he at? 3.3? He's going to play 15 to 20 minutes maybe. My issue with Scale is they like running small ball. So I could see Portland running a bit of a Herzonia at the 5 and kind of phasing Scale out. Yeah, I think it's a risky. It's doable. Not someone I'm super high on, but it's doable. There's some risks there. A Rozier, SGA, or Bam and GPP. Well, my favorite of those three is Bam, but yeah, give me Bam there. Schroeder and CP3 in the same lineup, too risky. Yeah, I don't think I would do it unless you're doing a game stack with Schroeder and CP3. That game in general is not super exciting. If you're game stacking it, that's viable. Lou Williams, still a good pick. So, yeah, I still like the upside in Lou. What about Diallo? Viable cheap play. Don't feel great about it, but this slate lacks some value plays. So we're looking at guys like, Diallo, Hood, Bazemore, Robert Williams, Kaminsky, right? There's just not a whole lot of great, like Scala, BCA. We're really kind of digging deep for some value plays in the slate. Would you play Myers or Kelly O in cash? Those minutes are just, the Miami guys, the minutes are really up and down. What was Myers' last game? Played 18. Kelly O played 24. It's just so tricky. I guess Myers and cash because he's starting and maybe the minutes are a bit more secure. I don't really feel great about either. CJ Brown, Graham, choose one. I'd go CJ there. I like him as a play. Again, I think Pat Bev guards. I think Pat Beverly guards Lillard, so CJ gets the better matchup. He has had a couple down games, but we know he's still going to play mid-30s minutes. It's a good matchup, so I kind of do like CJ. Man, I think Baines might have a good night. Put up a very nice line against Embiid. Yeah, Baines is. I think Baines is my fourth favorite center. I like Whiteside, Bam, and Steven Adams a bit more, but that doesn't make Baines out of play. I think he's a guy that's been talked about a bit around the industry, and probably 25 to 30 minutes. He's been really good too. So if you feel strong about Baines, go with it. I don't have I'm not super Steven Adams over Baines is a close call, or Whiteside over Baines. It's a close call. So I think Baines very much in play. If you feel strong about it, go with it. Again, I told you guys I'm playing Whiteside and Bam. That doesn't mean you have to follow my lead. Definitely Baines is viable. So Baines or Zeller for cash. Baines for sure. Zeller, just the minutes have been up and down. Value play, Forbes, okay. Again, slate lacks value, so he's in play. Nunn or Schroeder? I would go Nunn. I'd go Nunn, I think. If Pat Bev get Lillard, doesn't Kawhi get CJ? No, I don't think Kawhi will guard CJ. I guess who would Kawhi guard then? Hood maybe. I don't. That's a possibility, I guess. But yeah, like I said, I still like the price tag in CJ. Lillard as a more contrarian spend up. Again, I do like too. I like the game a lot in general. I know it's a popular game, but I think it's the best for game stacking purposes. I'll tell you guys right now. I'm only playing GPPs, and I have. How many pieces do I have that for the late game? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 pieces in that game. So yeah, I'm full on game stacking it. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, it's a more risky lineup I'm going with. Not really a cash game, but yeah. And can we please get no injuries, please? I'm still tilting about Otto Porter and the Trae Young, man. What the fuck? I didn't sleep again last night because I was tilting so hard. PJ Washington, good to go. Dragic or Kendrick Nunn, it's really close for me. Dragic has the revenge game narrative. It's I think Dragic is more suited for GPPs because I think Nunn plays a bit more minutes. But again, he played 19 a game against. I'm still going to take Nunn, but I don't feel great about it. It's a really close call. Praise Beverly doesn't get ejected. Bam or Rubio for tiers. I'd go Bam there. I like both a good amount, but I'll go Bam. I'm just a Bam guy. You guys know watching my videos by now. I love Bam, and the price is down on him. He's a guy that blocks, steals, doesn't necessarily have to score to get you there. So yeah, give me Bam. We got it's basically lock now. I can go over the. First, let's look at what's the slate looking like tomorrow. It should be a decent sized game or a decent sized slate since we only have 4 games tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 11 game slate. So that'll be fun to go over. We got a lot to talk about for NBA tomorrow. Whiteside Showdown captain, favorite cheap plays. I like Whiteside as a captain there. The cheat plays in that game, I think Hood, Bazemore, Herzonia, maybe JaMychal Green. That's kind of Zubac viable. So, wouldn't be surprised if Booker gets fouled out. He's been in foul trouble a lot. Almost every single game he gets in foul trouble. We are locked. Yes, let's go. We can take a look at some ownership. I don't even have anyone in the early game. Yeah, I have no one in that early game, but I can look for some ownership. Thank you, bro, and good luck, everyone. Yeah, good luck, guys. If you guys want to stay after for a few minutes, I can go over some ownership in that first game. And then I can talk about the showdown a bit for NFL if you guys are playing that. Um, I like, for that showdown at least, I like Keenan Allen. I think a big game's coming up for him. Also like Darren Waller too. Those are probably my two favorite plays. Let's see. Let's look at the $10 GPP, the big one, and see what we got ownership-wise. Let's see if we can find some guys. So, Devontae Graham, only 10%. I thought he'd be a bit higher owned after that big game. Tice is 4%. Cody Zeller is 10%. Jaylen Brown is 14%. I kind of like that. Rozier's 23. Thanks, DK. Let's win some cash tonight. Yes. Let's have a good night and no injuries, please, man. I'm been tilting hard this, or at least this last week or two. People smoking crack in here. Kemba isn't one bit chalk. He's under 20%. Yeah, I mean, I still haven't found Kemba's ownership. Rozier's 23%. Bridges 14%. Kemba only 15%. That's slightly surprising too. I thought he would be a little bit higher owned in a revenge game. So with a lot of people low owned in this game, I think people are trending towards that same theory as me of kind of getting a lot of pieces in that late game. Keenan isn't doing anything. Guy's awful. I don't think so. I think they're going to try to get him more involved. The targets are there for him. And, yeah, I like buying low on guys. So I think the ownership will drop on him because he just hasn't been great the last few games. But, like I said, I like buying low on guys. Tatum is 7%. If Kemba drops 50, I'll just lose. That price is too much. Yeah, he is expensive, right? And Boston's very balanced. They have Tatum. They have Jaylen Brown. They have everyone healthy now. So, I think I just, was considering him because of the revenge game, and I think he's going to, want to show off for those Charlotte home fans. So, Smart is 1%, Hayward 12%. Yeah, so there's really no one, at least in this $10 GPP, that's high owned. So, I think people are kind of thinking the same way, is getting some of those pieces in that late game. Keep sleeping on Keenan. Yeah, like I said, I like buying low on guys, so I'll take Keenan there for sure. It's not really too much. I'll win, LOL. It's not great, but I think he's fairly priced. Yeah. Like I said, I don't think Kemba's overpriced. I think he's fair. I think, like I said, he's going to be a little bit more aggressive with, the revenge game. Mike Williams will smash. Keenan isn't making any slash plays. That's fair. Like I say, if you like Mike Williams over Keenan, go for it. I'm going the other way. I'm going Keenan, but Mike Williams does have that big play upside, so. Playing Kemba and Rozier, yeah. So you're going the revenge game narrative. I don't mind that. I didn't play anyone in this game. I only have guys in the two late games, I think. Yeah, I literally have 6 guys in the last game of the night, and then I have 2 guys in Miami, Phoenix, and that's it. Dame and McCollum together. I would do it if you're game stacking. I think playing them together in a non-game stack lineup is okay. I just don't think it makes the most sense. So, yeah, I think you can play them both in a game stack. If you're playing cash games, probably not together. Thursday night can get crazy for sure. Yeah, tonight is the night for sure. Any more news? Otherwise, Mike Williams hasn't scored yet. He's due. Yeah, like touchdown regression for sure. That's actually interesting. He hasn't scored yet at all this year. I didn't know that. Williams will get twice. Will score twice. Keenan will get 12 DQ points. I mean, yeah, that's a bold call. I'm playing Andre Patton too in that just because it opens up a lot. I know he hasn't had a target yet the last 2 games, but like I said, I play risky on those showdown sites. I don't play for trying to make my money or double up. But I think I'll hop off here. So again, I'll have that video up for Friday. We got 11 game slate, guys, so a lot to talk about there. And please let's have some good luck on our side. No injuries. That would be great for sure. So hopefully I'm not tilting making that video for Friday's slate. But thanks again, guys. I really appreciate all you guys coming out to check out the stream. And I will see you guys tomorrow.